Announcing the commencement of the first purge.
I want you to change the world, and don't think that this is going to happen peacefully or you can do it alone. We need to kill the rich. You get out there, you use your weapons, and you rip Washington apart. You hunt down the billionaires, the bank bosses, the CEOs, the scumbags and the liars, the governors, the lobbyists, the senators, because they're all the same, and you hang them.
Just remember all the good the purge does.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is May 30th, 2018. I'm Eric. I'm here at the Free Thought Project, Malon Labe. State bans popular AR-15 accessory. Not a single person complies. This comes from Rachel Blevins. This is going on in New Jersey. The state of New Jersey has become the latest to ban bump stocks for firearms. And despite strict threats to owners who refuse to turn their newly illegal devices over to police, not a single resident has complied with the new law. Welcome to my world, people. So, the legislation banning the popular AR-15 accessory, Senate Bill 3477, went into effect immediately after it was signed into law by Governor Chris the Fat-Ass Christie in January, and it gave residents 90 days to voluntarily surrender any bump stock in their possession to a law enforcement agency. The bill criminalizes the possession or sale of bump stocks, which it defines as a device designed to attach to a semi-automatic firearm in order to fire shots in rapid succession in a manner that's similar to automatic firearms. This new law adds to an existing state law banning guns that have been deemed as assault rifles. Under current law, it is a second-degree crime to possess an assault firearm or part or combination of parts designed or intended to convert a firearm into an assault firearm. This bill makes it a third-degree crime to possess a bump stock, regardless of whether the person is in possession of a firearm, and provides that let me do that sentence over again. This bill makes it a third-degree crime to possess a bump stock regardless of whether the person is in possession of a firearm, and provides that the penalty for possessing a bump stock is to run consecutively with the penalty for possessing an assault firearm. The bill also establishes a third-degree crime for manufacturing, transporting, shipping, selling, or disposing of a bump stock. A crime of the third degree is punishable by 3 to 5 years imprisonment or a fine of up to $15,000 or both. Now, we don't need to read the rest of this to have this discussion, do we? Had the Britons, the English, whatever you want to call them, Britannians, whatever, had they not been such big fucking pansy-ass cucks, they would still have their firearms, and they would be doing exactly what these people are doing. Telling the government, fuck you, I'm not complying. Now, despite the fact that New Jersey residents who are caught with bump stocks could face up to 5 years in prison and a $15,000 fine, reports have claimed that not a single bump stock has been turned in, even though the deadline to turn the newly illegal accessories over to police was last month. New Jersey is not alone. Massachusetts became the first state to ban bump stocks earlier this year, and even though the state's new legislation threatens violators with up to 18 months in jail, only 4 people have complied by voluntarily surrendering their bump stocks to police. And they're 4 fucking cucks. Bunch of pansies. Psh. I have no respect for people like that. None whatsoever. Bump stock bans have been passed in Florida, Maryland, Vermont, and Washington, but have yet to go into effect. Given the immense success the bans have had in New Jersey and Massachusetts, it may soften the blow for police in other states who believe that residents will turn up by the masses to turn in a piece of plastic just because the government said it is now illegal. Mark Pennick, the president of the gun rights group Maryland Shall Issue, argued that until police begin providing a financial incentive for residents to turn in their bump stocks, they will likely continue to see low numbers. You're basically telling people to destroy their property. If you take someone's private property, you have to pay for it, he said. They bought them just because they're fun to use, and that's it, Pennick added. You're criminalizing a plastic item and sending people to prison for 3 years for it. You're criminalizing plant matter and stuff that's derived from plants, sending people to prison for it. Okay. So, I like this. I like this trend. More people need to begin disobeying. And I mean a lot of people. Because what are they going to do? Are they going to lock everyone up? And then, of course, if they start locking people up, we can gather together and go to the prisons these people are held in and force them to release these prisoners. See, Europe, all those countries over there, Sweden, France, the UK, Germany, and so on. The people there need to grow a pair of balls. Really, they do. Otherwise, they're gonna fall and fall hard. Really hard. And their children will end up knocked up from being raped by one of these fucking Muslim migrants from Sierra Leone and other African countries. While some police officials claim that they believe the bump stocks are not being turned in by residents because they are not a popular accessory, statistics from the federal government estimate that Americans spent $96.2 million on bump stocks between 2011 and 2017. The new war on bump stocks was ignited by the mass shooting in Las Vegas, in which suspect Stephen Paddock has been accused of killing 59 people and injuring 530 on October 1st, 2017. New Jersey's legislation specifically lists the shooting as an example of why bump stocks should be banned. The bill states that, according to recent news reports, the rifles found in the gunman's hotel room were modified with bump stocks. However, it should be noted that while police claim they found 12 rifles with bump stocks in Paddock's hotel room, and the accessory then became the subject of the media's wrath, it is still not clear whether the bump stocks were used or how they contributed to the carnage that resulted from the shootings. Now, remember, folks, there was no window broke in the hotel room of Stephen Paddock, which means it is a physical impossibility that he was the shooter. The same with the Parkland shooting. There's no way Nikolas Cruz had the time to show up at the school, dress down in the body armor, load the weapons, or assemble the weapon, and shoot all them people, and then turn around, strip down, disassemble the rifle, and be seen by one of the students in line with them, and that same student carried on a conversation with Nikolas Cruz. She made no mention of the body armor or rifle that the teacher talked about. Now, I'm not saying there's not going to be consequences to resisting. There will be. People will end up being killed. People will end up being hurt. People will end up being locked up. But without sacrifice, you can't have freedom. Without sacrifice, you cannot set what's wrong right. Without sacrifice, you are doomed to a lifetime of servitude and enslavement. So, I hope you all have a good day. And remember, kill the state and live free.